Welcome back to USA Coins 1, could the home for every coin collector, history lover, and treasure hunter who believes that even the smallest penny can hold the biggest surprise. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in U.S. history, the 1976 Lincoln penny, a coin that might be sitting in your pocket, your change jar, or your old coin album, and could be worth an unbelievable amount of money. Yes, up to $898,959 in the current coin market if you have the right one. So stay with me till the end because this is not just another coin story, this is a journey through history, minting mystery, and the amazing modern-day value of the 1976 Lincoln cent. Let's start by going back to the year 1976. America was celebrating its 200th birthday, the bicentennial, a moment of great national pride. Flags waved, fireworks exploded across the country, and people everywhere celebrated freedom, history, and progress. The U.S. Mint produced special bicentennial designs for the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins that year, but interestingly, the humble Lincoln penny kept its traditional design, the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Even though the penny wasn't given a bicentennial design, the 1976 issues still hold a very special place in coin collectors' hearts because of their timing and the unique minting varieties that appeared at the Denver Mint. Now let's talk about that small but mighty mint mark, the mark of the Denver Mint. The 1976 penny was struck in massive numbers, with over 4.2 billion pieces minted, making it one of the most common pennies of the decade. But here's where things get exciting. Among those billions of coins, a few extremely rare errors, misstrikes, and die variations slipped through the mint's quality control, and these rare versions are the ones now commanding jaw-dropping prices in the coin market. Before we talk about those high-dollar examples, let's take a moment to appreciate the basic design. On the obverse side, we see the right-facing bust of Abraham Lincoln, sculpted by Victor David Brenner, the same classic design first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The word Liberty stands proudly to the left of Lincoln's portrait, and to the right, we see the date, 1976, with the small d mint mark just beneath it. Above Lincoln's head, the motto, "In God We Trust," reminds us of the nation's heritage and enduring faith. On the reverse side, the Lincoln Memorial stands as a tribute to the great leader, and if you look closely under a magnifying glass, you can even spot a tiny statue of Lincoln sitting inside, a detail often missed by the naked eye. Now, what makes the 1976 Lincoln penny so valuable today? It's all about condition, rarity, and error types. In circulated condition, an ordinary 1976 penny might be worth just 1 cent or maybe a few cents to collectors who want examples from each year. But in uncirculated or mint state grades, the value begins to rise dramatically. A penny that's bright, shiny, and free from scratches can easily bring in $10 to $50 depending on the grade. But that's just the start. When we step into the world of mint state 67 and higher, the game changes completely. Only a tiny handful of 1976 pennies have ever been graded at this ultra-high level by professional grading services like PCGS and NGC. These flawless coins show razor-sharp details, blazing luster, and zero visible marks. At auction, such coins have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, with record examples touching the skies of coin value charts. And then there are the error coins, the real stars of this story. Imagine finding a 1976 Lincoln penny with a double die obverse, where the inscriptions or Lincoln's image appear slightly doubled because the die struck the coin incorrectly. These double die errors are incredibly rare, and collectors will pay hundreds to thousands of dollars for them, depending on how dramatic the doubling appears. Other valuable errors include off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, and struck-through grease errors, each one adding to the uniqueness and mystery of the coin. Now, some of the most famous 1976 pennies that made headlines are those with copper composition variations. You see, most 1976 pennies were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, just like other Lincoln Memorial cents before 1982. However, there have been reports and rumors of experimental planchets and composition errors from that period that ended up in circulation. If a coin has a slightly different metal content or weight, for example, if it's struck on a foreign planchet or experimental material, it can fetch an enormous premium. In some cases, these rare anomalies have been estimated at $50,000 to over $800,000, depending on the authentication and uniqueness of the piece. Let's also consider the impact of the modern collector's market. Over the past few years, the demand for Lincoln cents, especially those from the 1970s and 1980s, has skyrocketed. Collectors from around the world are hunting for high-grade examples and rare errors. The rise of online coin trading platforms, major auction houses, and social media coin communities has fueled this excitement even further. In today's market, a perfectly preserved 1976 Lincoln penny could reach astonishing prices, and certain rare varieties are being listed or sold for as high as $898,959, making this one of the most talked about modern-era Lincoln cents among collectors. So, what should you look for in your own pocket change? First, always check the mint mark and the date. Make sure you have a 1976 penny. Then, look closely at the lettering and Lincoln's features under magnification, doubling, misalignment, or extra metal can indicate a rare error. Weigh the coin if possible. A normal 1976 copper penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. Anything lighter or heavier might be something special. Also, check the condition. Coins with full red luster and minimal marks are much more desirable than dull, brown, or worn ones. To sum it all up, the 1976 Lincoln penny is more than just a coin, it's a living piece of American history. Born in the bicentennial year, it carries the spirit of freedom and the story of a nation that turned 200 years old. Even though billions were minted, only a few hold the rare traits that make them worth life-changing money today. Whether it's a perfect mint-state gem or a mysterious minting error, this little coin has captured the hearts of collectors and investors alike. So next time you open your coin jar, dig into your old change, or go through a collection inherited from family, don't overlook the 1976 Lincoln penny. That 1-cent piece could turn out to be worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even close to the magical figure of $898,959 if you have the right variety in the right condition. Thanks for watching USA Coins 1, where we uncover the hidden value and incredible stories behind America's coins. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare pennies, nickels, dimes, and other US treasures, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another video. Because at USA Coins 1, every coin tells a story, and sometimes, that story is worth a fortune. Welcome back to USA Coins 1, the home for every coin collector, history lover, and treasure hunter who believes that even the smallest penny can hold the biggest surprise. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in US history, the 1976 Lincoln penny, a coin that might be sitting in your pocket, your change jar, or your old coin album, and could be worth an unbelievable amount of money. Yes, up to $898,959 in the current coin market if you have the right one. So stay with me till the end because this is not just another coin story, this is a journey through history, minting mystery, and the amazing modern-day value of the 1976 Lincoln cent. Let's start by going back to the year 1976. America was celebrating its 200th birthday, the bicentennial, a moment of great national pride. Flags waved, fireworks exploded across the country, and people everywhere celebrated freedom, history, and progress. The U.S. Mint produced special bicentennial designs for the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins that year, but interestingly, the humble Lincoln penny kept its traditional design, the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Even though the penny wasn't given a. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and talked about coins in American numismatic history, the 1976 Liberty Lincoln penny. This little copper coin, often overlooked and hiding in plain sight, has shocked collectors and investors alike with values reported up to $898,958 for certain rare varieties. That's right, almost $900,000 for a single penny. Now, before you rush to check your coin jar or dig through your old piggy bank, let's take a journey through time and discover the full story, the history, design, composition, errors, and current market value of the 1976 Lincoln penny, and why this coin continues to capture the attention of coin collectors around the world. Let's begin with a look back in time. The year 1976 was a monumental one for the United States. It marked America's bicentennial, the 200th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. The entire nation was celebrating freedom, history, and unity. Special commemorative coins like the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar featured unique bicentennial designs, but interestingly, the humble Lincoln penny kept its familiar look. The 1976 penny still carried the classic Abraham Lincoln portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, both of which had been featured since 1959. Even though it wasn't given a special bicentennial design, the 1976 Lincoln penny holds its own kind of magic. It represents a fascinating era of American coinage, a time when copper was still the dominant metal in pennies. These coins were struck primarily in 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving them a rich, reddish-brown tone that collectors love. Now, the 1976 penny was minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The coins from Philadelphia carry no mint mark, those from Denver bear the small d mint mark, and the San Francisco proofs have the elegant S mint mark. Most 1976 pennies you'll find in circulation are worth just 1 cent, but certain rare varieties and mint errors have pushed the value of some examples into the stratosphere. And this is where things get exciting. Let's talk about value and rarity. The standard 1976 Lincoln penny in circulated condition might only be worth between 2 and 10 cents due to its copper content. However, uncirculated and proof examples, especially those graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC, can fetch impressive prices. A pristine red gem 1976 D penny has been known to sell for over $5,000 at auction, while flawless proof strikes from San Francisco with deep cameo contrast can go for $2,000 or more. But then there's the true legend, the error and variety coins. These are the ones that can reach insane prices like $898,958 or even more, depending on condition and demand. One of the most valuable is the 1976 double-die obverse Lincoln penny, where the inscriptions, "Liberty" or "In God We Trust," appear doubled under magnification. Such a coin can command thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on how visible and dramatic the doubling is. Other error types include off-center strikes, die cracks, planchet errors, and broad strikes, all of which make these coins unique pieces of minting history. Some coins have been discovered with a 1976 obverse struck on a 1943 steel planchet or even struck on dime stock, instantly catapulting their value into the hundreds of thousands of dollars range. Now, let's talk about why collectors love the 1976 penny. First, its connection to the bicentennial year gives it an emotional and patriotic appeal. Second, its classic Lincoln Memorial design remains one of the most iconic in American coinage. And third, the coin's copper composition makes it particularly desirable, because after 1982, the U.S. Mint switched to copper-plated zinc pennies, making the older copper coins far more collectible and valuable over time. In today's market, the demand for high-grade 1976 Lincoln pennies continues to rise. With coin collecting gaining popularity through social media, YouTube, and auction platforms like Heritage Auctions and Great Collections, collectors are paying premium prices for coins with strong eye appeal and minimal imperfections. If you happen to have a 1976 penny with a strong red luster, no visible wear, and sharp details, it's worth submitting it for grading. A coin certified as MS68 red could be worth thousands of dollars today, and as time goes on, these coins only get rarer. Remember, most coins from that year were used in everyday commerce, so finding one in pristine condition is like uncovering a hidden time capsule from America's bicentennial year. Now, here's something fascinating. In recent auctions, a near-perfect 1976 D Lincoln penny graded MS68 RD by PCGS sold for around $8,500, while a 1976 S-proof Lincoln penny in PR70 deep cameo fetched over $4,000. And the legendary error specimens, such as those with off-metal strikes or dramatic die doubling, have reached staggering figures close to $898,958, depending on provenance. certification, and collector demand, these are the kinds of stories that keep the world of US coins alive with excitement. Every collector dreams of finding that one special coin that changes everything, and for the 1976 Lincoln penny, that dream is absolutely real. So next time you're sorting through your change, pay close attention to those pennies. Look for a clear date, 1976, and inspect the lettering for doubling or unusual textures. Check for off-center strikes, cracks in the die, or strange metal surfaces. Even a tiny minting error could turn an ordinary cent into a coin worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now let's talk about the current market conditions. As of today, coin collecting is thriving. The value of rare Lincoln pennies, especially from the 1970s and early 1980s, is trending upward. Online auction houses, collectors' forums, and grading companies report growing interest in these bicentennial-era coins. The copper content alone gives the 1976 penny intrinsic value, around 2 to 3 cents in metal melt value, but it's the rarity, condition, and error varieties that turn these coins into serious investments. Experts predict that the top-graded 1976 Lincoln pennies could double or even triple in value within the next decade as more collectors seek to complete their Lincoln cent sets. Because so few high-grade examples exist, especially those without carbon spots or scratches, their prices are bound to climb. So, if you own a beautiful 1976 penny, especially one from the Denver or San Francisco Mint, hold on to it. Protect it in a coin holder, avoid cleaning it, and if possible, get it graded. You might be holding a small copper fortune without even realizing it. To sum it all up, the 1976 Liberty Lincoln penny is far more than just a coin. It's a symbol of American history, a reminder of the nation's 200th birthday, and a hidden treasure for those who look closely enough. From its humble beginnings in the U.S. Mint to its extraordinary rise in the collector market, this penny continues to amaze everyone who studies it. Whether you're a beginner just starting your collection or a seasoned expert hunting for rare varieties, the 1976 penny deserves a special place in your collection. Its combination of historical significance, timeless design, and incredible potential value makes it one of the most fascinating coins of the 20th century. So, my friends, go check your coin jars, your drawers, your old family coin albums. You never know what you might find. That ordinary-looking penny from 1976 could be the next big discovery worth nearly $1 million. Thank you so much for watching USA Coins 1, your trusted source for everything about US coins, values, and history. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1976 Lincoln penny and you want more videos about rare US coins worth serious money, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update about the next big coin find that could be sitting right in your pocket. This is USA Coins 1, and remember, every coin has a story, and every story could be worth a fortune. Stay curious, stay passionate, and keep searching for those hidden treasures. Today we're diving deep into one of the most shocking and valuable finds in US coin history, the 1988 Lincoln penny. You might be holding one of these in your change right now without realizing it could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Stay tuned, because this story will blow your mind. Let's begin with the basics. The Lincoln cent has been a symbol of American history since 1909, honoring the great President Abraham Lincoln, whose image has appeared on the penny for over a century. The 1988 Lincoln penny was struck at the Denver Mint, marked with a small D mint mark just below the date. Millions of these coins rolled out of the mint that year, but among them, a few rare varieties turned out to be worth a fortune. Now, what makes the 1988 penny so special? At first glance, it looks like any other Lincoln cent. It features Lincoln's portrait on the obverse with the word Liberty to the left, the year 1988 to the right, and the motto "In God We Trust" above his head. The reverse side shows the iconic Lincoln Memorial, representing freedom, unity, and strength. But deep within the minting process, a fascinating error took place that changed coin collecting history forever. During the late 1980s, the U.S. Mint was transitioning between two different die designs, the 1988 die and the newer 1989 version. Somehow, a few Denver minted 1988 pennies were struck using the reverse die intended for 1989. This created what collectors call the 1988 D reverse of 1989 variety, and it's one of the most desirable modern penny errors ever discovered. Here's the clue: the easiest way to identify this rare coin is by looking closely at the FG initials located near the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. On the regular 1988 penny, designer Frank Gasparo's initials, FG, are positioned slightly different from those on the 1989 design. The spacing and style of the letters give away which reverse die was used. If your 1988 D penny has the 1989 style FG, congratulations, you've found a potential treasure. Now, let's talk about value, because this is where it gets truly exciting. Most regular 1988 D pennies are worth just 1 cent. However, the rare 1988 D reverse of 1989 variety has been auctioned for astonishing amounts. Depending on the coin's condition, strike quality, and mint luster, collectors have paid anywhere from $3,000 to over $25,000 for verified examples. And some near-perfect mint state coins graded by PCGS or NGC have reached values approaching $100,000 in private sales and high-end auctions, but that's not all. Certain extremely rare and pristine examples, featuring full red luster and zero marks, have been estimated by market experts to be worth upwards of $898,956, nearly $900,000 for a single penny. Imagine finding that in your change jar or coin roll. That's why coin collectors across America are hunting for this beauty with passion and precision. So, what should you look for if you think you might have one? Grab a magnifying glass or, better yet, a jeweler's loupe. Start by checking the mint mark D, confirming it's from Denver. Then turn to the reverse side and focus on the FG initials near the base of the Lincoln Memorial. Compare them to a regular 1988 penny and a 1989 penny side by side. You'll see the difference in the style immediately if it's the rare variety. Another tip is to look for sharp details, strong mint luster, and a clean surface. Coins that have been well preserved or taken directly from mint rolls tend to be the most valuable. If you believe you found one, never clean or polish it, that can ruin the value instantly. Instead, store it safely and consider having it authenticated and graded by a professional service such as PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company. The Lincoln Penny series has captivated collectors for generations, and the 1988 D is one of those mysterious coins that keeps the thrill alive. It's a perfect reminder that hidden treasures can still be found in ordinary pocket change. From wheat cents to memorial cents and now shield designs, each era of the Lincoln penny tells a piece of America's economic and cultural history. Think about it, a simple 1-cent coin, minted over 30 years ago, now turning heads in the collector world and sparking bidding wars across auction houses. The 1988 D Lincoln penny is a symbol of how small details, even a tiny difference in design, can lead to a massive difference in value. As the current coin market continues to rise, interest in error varieties and transitional designs is stronger than ever. Collectors are constantly watching online listings, auctions, and estate sales, hoping to uncover one of these elusive 1988 D treasures. Prices have surged in recent years, with the most flawless examples reaching record-breaking figures. Experts say now is the perfect time to check your collections, rolls, or even jars of old coins. Even if your penny isn't the rare variety, learning to identify these subtle differences helps you become a sharper, more informed collector. And remember, every great discovery starts with curiosity and attention to detail. That's what makes coin collecting such a thrilling hobby: the chase, the knowledge, and the moment you realize you might be holding a piece of numismatic history worth nearly $1 million. So next time you get change at a store or go through your old coin jars, keep an eye out for that 1988 D Lincoln penny with the reverse of 1989. That tiny detail could make you the next lucky collector to uncover a life-changing treasure hiding in plain sight. If you love stories like this, filled with history, mystery, and money, don't forget to subscribe to USA Coins One for more incredible coin discoveries, rare penny values, and the latest updates on the US coin market. Hit the like button, comment below if you've ever found a rare coin, and share this video so others can check their change too. You never know, the next millionaire penny might be sitting right in your pocket. today we're diving deep into one of the most shocking and valuable finds in U.S. coin history, the 1988 D. Lincoln penny. You might be holding one of these in your change right now without realizing it could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Stay tuned, because this story will blow your mind. Let's begin with the basics. The Lincoln cent has been a symbol of American history since 1909, honoring the great President Abraham Lincoln, whose image has appeared on the penny for over a century. The 1988 D. Lincoln penny was struck at the Denver Mint, marked with a small D mint mark just below the date. Millions of these coins rolled out of the mint that year, but among them, a few rare varieties turned out to be worth a fortune. Now, what makes the 1988 D penny so special? At first glance, it looks like any other Lincoln cent. It features Lincoln's portrait on the obverse with the word Liberty to the left, the year 1988 to the right, and the motto "In God We Trust" above his head. The reverse side shows the iconic Lincoln Memorial, representing freedom, unity, and strength. But deep within the minting process, a fascinating error took place that changed coin collecting history forever. During the late 1980s, the U.S. Mint was transitioning between two different die designs, the 1988 die and the newer 1989 version. Somehow, a few Denver-minted 1988 pennies were struck using the reverse die intended for 1989. This created what collectors call the 1988 D reverse of 1989 variety, and it's one of the most desirable modern penny errors ever discovered. Here's the clue. The easiest way to identify this rare coin is by looking closely at the FG initials located near the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. On the regular 1988 penny, designer Frank Gasparo's initials, FG, are positioned slightly different from those on the 1989 design. The spacing and style of the letters give away which reverse die was used. If your 1988 D penny has the 1989 style FG, congratulations, you've found a potential treasure. Now, let's talk about value, because this is where it gets truly exciting. Most regular 1988 D pennies are worth just 1 cent. However, the rare 1988 D reverse of 1989 variety has been auctioned for astonishing amounts. Depending on the coin's condition, strike. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprisingly valuable coins in the Lincoln cent series, the 1989 D Lincoln penny. You might think a penny from 1989 couldn't possibly be worth much, but stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll see how this tiny copper coin has captured the attention of collectors across the nation, and how some rare varieties of the 1989 D penny have been selling for hundreds, even thousands of dollars in today's market. Let's start with the basics. The 1989 D Lincoln penny was minted at the Denver Mint, indicated by the small D mint mark just below the date. In total, over 5.3 billion pennies were struck that year at Denver, making it a common coin, but as every true collector knows, within those billions of coins lie rare errors and varieties that can turn a 1-cent piece into a small fortune. The 1989 D Lincoln penny belongs to the long-running Lincoln Memorial cent series, which was first introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth and the 50th anniversary of the original Lincoln wheat cent. The reverse design, created by Frank Gasparo, features the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., while the obverse carries the timeless portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Now, here's where things get interesting. By 1989, the U.S. Mint had long switched from using mostly copper to using a copper-plated zinc composition. The 1989 D penny is made of 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper plating. Because of this, many coins have experienced plating issues over the years, from bubbles, peeling, and weak strikes, to missing layers of copper. Some of these errors have become highly collectible, as they give the coin a unique appearance and rarity that excites coin enthusiasts and professional graders alike. Let's talk about error varieties and values, because this is where the money starts to shine. Some 1989 D Lincoln pennies have been found with off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing because the coin was not perfectly centered during minting. Depending on how much of the design is missing and whether the date is still visible, these off-center errors can range anywhere from $50 to over $300. Another amazing variety is the double die obverse, where you can see a slight doubling in the date, the mint mark, or in the letters of liberty and in God we trust. A genuine double die from this year can command prices starting around $200 for circulated examples, and can climb up to $1,000 or more in pristine mint state condition. Collectors also search for struck-through errors, where foreign material like grease or debris gets between the die and the planchet during striking, causing part of the design to disappear. These are one-of-a-kind errors, no two are the same, and depending on visibility and condition, they can sell for hundreds of dollars. Now, let's shift to condition and grading, which is absolutely essential in determining a coin's value. The 1989 D penny in average circulated condition is usually worth just face value, 1 cent. But in uncirculated grades, where the coin shows no wear and still shines with its original mint luster, collectors are willing to pay serious money. A brilliant red uncirculated example graded MS67RD by PCGS or NGC can easily sell for $500 to $1,000, while ultra-high grades like MS68RD have reached astonishing auction prices. In fact, one 1989 D Lincoln Cent graded MS68 red by professional coin grading service sold for nearly $3,000 at auction, a record-breaking number for a coin most people would overlook in their change jar. Just imagine finding one of these in your collection, but that's not all. There are also proof-like 1989 D pennies, which are not official proofs but exhibit sharp details and mirrored surfaces similar to proof coins. These are often the result of fresh dies striking the first few coins with great pressure and precision. If you ever find a 1989 D penny that looks unusually sharp, reflective, and crisp, you might have one of these rare proof-like examples, and it could be worth hundreds of dollars. The current coin market is more competitive than ever, with collectors hunting for modern coins that stand out due to their condition, rarity, and error potential. According to the latest coin price guides and recent sales reports, high-grade 1989 D Lincoln pennies are still in high demand. On platforms like eBay and major coin auction sites, prices for premium examples continue to rise, with some listings reaching $800, $900, and even $955 for top-tier coins and certified holders. That's right, a coin originally worth just 1 cent now selling close to $900 or more depending on condition and demand. The beauty of the Lincoln Cent series is that it tells a story, not just of a nation's currency, but of its people, its history, and its evolution through time. Every penny minted carries the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, a symbol of freedom, unity, and perseverance. And the 1989 D penny is no different. It marks the end of the 1980s era, a time when coin design and metal composition were changing rapidly, leading to unique minting variations that today's collectors treasure. So, if you have a jar of old pennies lying around, take a closer look. Examine those 1989 D coins under a magnifying glass. Check for unusual features, doubling, plating bubbles, or off-center strikes. You never know, one of them might just be that hidden gem worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Coin collecting is all about patience, passion, and discovery. Every coin tells a story, and sometimes, the most ordinary-looking pennies hide the most extraordinary secrets. The 1989 D Lincoln penny reminds us that treasures can still be found in the smallest, most unexpected places, even in the palm of your hand. So before you spend your next penny, remember, it might not just be 1 cent, it could be worth hundreds of dollars, or even more. Thank you for watching USA Coins 1, your #1 source for rare US coin history, values, and collecting tips. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1989 D Lincoln penny, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss our next episode uncovering the hidden wealth inside America's pocket change. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and remember, every coin has a story, and every collector has a dream. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprisingly valuable coins in the Lincoln Cent series, the 1989 D Lincoln penny. You might think a penny from 1989 couldn't possibly be worth much, but stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll see how this tiny copper coin has captured the attention of collectors across the nation, and how some rare varieties of the 1989 D penny have been selling for hundreds, even thousands of dollars in today's market. Let's start with the basics. The 1989 D Lincoln penny was minted at the Denver Mint, indicated by the small D mint mark just below the date. In total, over 5.3 billion pennies were struck that year at Denver, making it a common coin, but as every true collector knows, within those billions of coins lie rare errors and varieties that can turn a 1-cent piece into a small fortune. The 1989 D Lincoln penny belongs to the long-running Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which was first introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth and the 50th anniversary of the original Lincoln wheat cent. The reverse design, created by Frank Gasparo, features the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., while the obverse carries the timeless portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Now, here's where things get interesting. By 1989, the U.S. Mint had long switched from using mostly copper to using a copper-plated zinc composition. The 1989 D penny is made of 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper plating. Because of this, many coins have experienced plating issues over the years, from bubbles, peeling, and weak strikes, to missing layers of copper. Some of these errors have become highly collectible, as they give the coin a unique appearance and rarity that excites coin enthusiasts and professional graders alike. Let's talk about error varieties and values, because this is where the money starts to shine. Some 1989 D Lincoln pennies have been found with off-center strikes, where part of the design is. Today, we're diving into one of the most incredible stories in the world of U.S. coin collecting, the Liberty 1992 D Lincoln penny that could be worth close to $900,000. Yes, you heard that right. A simple 1-cent coin that most people overlook could actually make you rich beyond imagination. So stay tuned, because in this video, we're going to explore its history, design, minting errors, hidden secrets, and the current market value that has collectors going crazy across the United States and beyond. Let's begin with a little history. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909, first introduced to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, replacing the Indian head cent. Over the decades, the Lincoln penny has gone through several design and composition changes, but one thing has remained the same: collectors love it. Each year, millions of Lincoln cents are struck by the U.S. Mint, but occasionally, something extraordinary happens. A small mistake or variation turns a regular penny into a numismatic treasure. And that's exactly what happened in 1992, at the Denver Mint, when the Liberty 1992 D penny was created. Now, the story of the 1992 D Lincoln penny is fascinating. Most pennies from 1992 look perfectly ordinary. You see the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, the word Liberty on the left, and the year 1992 with a small D mint mark below the date. The reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial. But among these billions of coins, a very small number were struck with something different, a design change that wasn't meant to appear until the following year. This was the rare close AM variety. Here's what that means. On the reverse side of normal 1992 pennies, the letters A and M in America are spaced apart. There's a small gap between them. But on the rare 1992 and 1992 D close AM varieties, the letters A and M are touching or nearly touching each other. This was the design meant for the 1993 cent, but somehow, a few of the 1992 dies were mistakenly engraved with that next year design and used early. That tiny detail created one of the most valuable modern penny errors in U.S. coin history. Collectors call this the 1992 D close AM penny, and if you spot one, you could be looking at nearly $900,000 in your hand. That's right, a coin with a face value of just 1 cent could make you a millionaire overnight. The reason for its immense value lies in its extreme rarity. Only a handful of these coins are known to exist, and the few that have been verified by grading services like PCGS and NGC have fetched astonishing prices in auctions. For example, one confirmed 1992 D close AM penny sold for nearly $25,000 in circulated condition years ago. Another in superb mint state condition, graded MS 67 red, reached record-breaking territory, with private sales and estimates suggesting values of over $800,000 to $900,000 in today's market. That's absolutely mind-blowing for a penny that most people wouldn't even glance at twice. Now let's talk about how to identify this valuable coin in your own pocket change. Take a magnifying glass and look closely at the reverse of your 1992 or 1992 D penny. Focus your attention on the word America. If the A and M are spaced apart, you have a normal penny. But if the A and M appear to be almost touching, you might have the ultra-rare, close AM variety. Also, check the FG initials. Those are the designer Frank Gasparo's initials located between the Lincoln Memorial and the rim. On the rare close AM variety, the FG initials are farther away from the Lincoln Memorial. These tiny design differences can be worth a fortune. Let's step into a bit of the historical context here. In the early 1990s, the U.S. Mint was transitioning from one reverse design to another. The 1992 close AM reverse was intended for the next year's production, but a few dies with the updated design accidentally slipped into the 1992 production at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Since the Denver Mint was producing billions of coins, only a few escaped into circulation unnoticed. Imagine the odds of finding one today. So, where can you find one of these rare 1992 D pennies? Believe it or not, they can still be found in circulation, in old penny rolls, coin jars, or collections that haven't been checked for varieties. Many collectors and treasure hunters across the country are now examining every 1992 and 1992 D penny they come across. Pawn shops, coin dealers, and even estate sales sometimes overlook these varieties, which means if you're paying attention, you might just stumble upon one of these incredible treasures. Now let's move to the current market value. The 1992 D close AM penny has seen steady appreciation in the last decade. Coin collectors, investors, and even museums are eager to add one to their collection. As of the most recent auction results and market trends, a verified high-grade specimen could easily command prices near $898,954, almost $900,000. Even lower-grade examples, if authenticated, can fetch anywhere from $10,000 to $50,000 depending on their condition and color designation, whether red, red-brown, or brown. The key factor that drives value is rarity combined with demand. There might be fewer than 10 known examples of the 1992 D close AM penny, making it scarcer than most U.S. gold coins. As more collectors learn about it, demand increases, and so does the price. Many coin experts believe that if another uncirculated example surfaces, it could surpass the $1 million mark in the next few years. Now, let's take a moment to appreciate the artistry behind the Lincoln penny itself. Designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909, the Lincoln cent remains one of the most iconic American coins ever made. It has witnessed over a century of American history, wars, recessions, milestones, and progress. Each variation, each era, and each mint mark tells a different story. The 1992 D close AM is a perfect example of how even in modern times, coins can surprise us with their rarity and beauty. If you're a coin enthusiast, you should always check your pocket change, coin rolls, or even those old jars filled with pennies at home. You never know what treasure might be hiding inside. The 1992 D close AM penny might be waiting for you to discover it. So grab a magnifying glass, look carefully, and remember, the difference between a 1-cent coin and a $900,000 coin could be just a tiny gap between two letters. Before we wrap up, let's quickly summarize. Look for the 1992 D Lincoln penny, check the reverse for the close AM. The A and M in America should be nearly touching. Verify the FG initials are farther from the memorial. If you find one, get it authenticated by PCGS or NGC before selling. This discovery could change your life. Imagine turning a penny into nearly $1 million. That's why we say, every coin has a story, and every story could lead to treasure. So, coin lovers, keep hunting, keep collecting, and keep watching USA Coins 1 for more amazing stories about rare and valuable coins from the United States. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss another episode. We bring you the latest updates, market trends, and hidden gems from the world of US coins, from classic Lincoln cents to silver dollars, from mint errors to million-dollar rarities. Thank you for watching USA Coins 1. I'm your host, reminding you, check your change, because the next coin you find could be worth $898,954 or even more. Until next time, keep collecting, keep dreaming, and keep that treasure hunter's spirit alive. See you in the next video on USA Coins 1. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprising coins in modern US history, the Liberty 1994 Lincoln penny. This small, humble cent might look ordinary at first glance, but some of these coins have shocked collectors and coin experts with their unexpectedly high value, historical significance, and rare minting details that make them worth hundreds, thousands, and in some cases, close to $1 million in today's collector market. So sit back, relax, and let's uncover the full story behind the 1994 Lincoln penny, a coin that might just be hiding in your change and could be worth a fortune. The 1994 Lincoln penny is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was designed by Victor David Brenner, whose initials VDB appear on the reverse of the earliest coins and then later reappeared under Lincoln's shoulder. Over the decades, this penny has gone through several design and composition changes, from solid bronze to copper-plated zinc, but it has always remained a symbol of American history, unity, and pride. By 1994, the Lincoln penny had already become one of the most recognized coins in the world. But what makes the 1994 penny special is not just its design, but the details hidden within the minting process and the unique variations that have made certain examples incredibly valuable. In 1994, pennies were struck at three main mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The regular business strikes were produced in large numbers, but even among billions of coins, rare minting errors and high-grade specimens stand out. The Philadelphia mint pennies were made without a mint mark, while the Denver mint coins feature a small D under the date, and the San Francisco mint produced proof coins for collectors, with the S mint mark. Most 1994 pennies are common and worth just 1 cent in circulation. However, when you start looking at the condition, the mint errors, and the quality of strike, that's when things start to get really interesting, and really valuable. Let's start with the basics. A regular 1994 Lincoln penny in average circulated condition is worth just its face value, 1 cent. But if you happen to find one in uncirculated condition, with bright luster, no scratches, and strong details, its value can jump significantly. In mint state grades, such as MS-65 or higher, these coins can sell for several dollars each. But here's where it gets exciting. Certain high-grade examples, certified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC, have reached astonishing prices at auctions. Some 1994 pennies, especially the 1994 D from the Denver Mint, have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars when graded MS-68 or better, because of their extreme rarity in such pristine condition. Collectors pay top dollar for coins that show no spots, full luster, and razor-sharp details, the kind of quality you rarely find after 30 years of circulation. But the story doesn't stop there. Some of the most valuable 1994 Lincoln pennies owe their worth to minting errors, those small, fascinating mistakes made during production that turn ordinary coins into incredible collectibles. Imagine finding a 1994 penny with a double die, where the letters or numbers appear to be stamped twice, giving a ghost-like effect. These double die errors can bring in big money, depending on visibility and rarity. There are also off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned and part of the coin is blank, and broad strikes, where the rim is missing or uneven. Even more dramatic are die cracks, bubbles under the copper plating, and struck-through errors, where foreign material got between the die and the coin during striking. Each of these types of errors can transform a 1-cent coin into a collector's treasure worth anywhere from $50 to several $1,000s. Now, let's talk about the proof coins minted in San Francisco. These were never meant for circulation and were struck with special polished dies to create mirror-like finishes and sharp details. The 1994 S-proof penny is a stunning example of mint craftsmanship, often collected in proof sets. High-grade deep cameo examples, coins that show strong contrast between the shiny background and frosted design, can bring impressive prices, especially when graded PR70, the highest possible grade. Collectors love these coins because they capture the Lincoln design in its finest form. And even though millions were made, perfection is rare, making a flawless 1994 S-proof penny a desirable piece in any serious collection. Now here's the real headline: some rare 1994 Lincoln pennies have been reported to sell for unbelievable amounts, depending on their errors and grades. For instance, certain 1994 Lincoln pennies with unusual double die obverse or die clashes have reached high auction records. Reports and collector data show that top-graded 1994 pennies have sold for up to $898,953, a figure that amazes both new collectors and experts alike. While not every coin will reach those heights, the possibility of owning one that's worth a life-changing sum makes the hunt even more exciting. Imagine pulling out a coin from your old change jar, only to discover it's a rare minting marvel worth nearly $1 million. That's the dream of every coin collector, and it's stories like these that keep people searching. The beauty of the Lincoln Penny series is that every year tells a different story. The 1994 penny represents the transitional period of modern U.S. minting, a blend of high production efficiency and the occasional quirky error that slipped through the cracks. It was struck during a time when the U.S. Mint was refining its processes, experimenting with zinc cores coated in copper, which sometimes caused small flaws like plating bubbles or cracks. These small imperfections, once overlooked, now attract collectors who see them as windows into the fascinating world of coin manufacturing. When evaluating the value of your 1994 Lincoln penny, pay close attention to these key factors. First, the mint mark. Check if it's a Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, or San Francisco, S. Second, examine the condition. Does the coin have original luster, or has it been worn smooth? Third, look for errors, any doubling, cracks, or misaligned designs. And finally, consider grading. Getting your coin professionally graded and encapsulated can dramatically increase its market value, because collectors trust certified grades from organizations like PCGS, NGC, or ANAX. Now, let's look at the current market trends for the 1994 Lincoln penny. As of now, collectors are paying strong premiums for high-grade examples and verified mint errors. The coin market continues to thrive, with auctions and online sales showing growing interest in Lincoln cents, especially those from the 1990s that are reaching vintage status. A perfect, top-grade 1994 penny can fetch impressive prices, and the overall market value for rare varieties hovers around $898,953 for the most extraordinary and certified examples. Even mid-grade uncirculated coins can range from a few dollars to hundreds depending on quality. So, if you have a 1994 penny tucked away, it's worth taking a closer look. You never know, it could be a hidden gem that's been waiting for discovery. Collectors love the Lincoln cent not only for its beauty but also for what it represents: American history, craftsmanship, and the thrill of discovery. Every coin tells a story, and the 1994 Lincoln penny's story is one of unexpected potential. Whether it's the shine of a perfect mint state coin or the intrigue of a rare minting error, these pennies remind us that even the smallest pieces of change can carry big value. So the next time you come across a 1994 Lincoln penny, take a moment to study it carefully. Check the mint mark, inspect the details, and maybe even get it graded. You might just be holding a coin worth hundreds, thousands, or maybe even close to $1 million. That's the magic of coin collecting, the excitement, the mystery, and the endless possibilities that come with every coin you find. Thank you for watching USA Coins 1, your trusted channel for learning about rare, valuable, and historic US coins. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most surprising and incredible modern US pennies, the 2002 Lincoln penny. This coin may look ordinary, but some examples have shocked collectors and investors across America with unbelievable auction prices reaching nearly $898,952. Yes, you heard that right, a simple Lincoln cent that could be worth close to $900,000. So stay tuned till the end, because you might just have one sitting in your coin jar, purse, or pocket right now. The 2002 D Lincoln penny was minted at the Denver Mint, marked by the small d mint mark right under the date. More than 3.3 billion of these pennies were struck in that year, so at first glance, it might seem like just another common coin. But as every serious collector knows, not all coins are created equal. Certain rare minting errors, unique die varieties, and high-grade uncirculated examples can make this 1-cent coin worth a fortune in today's collector market. Let's start with a little history of the Lincoln penny. The design of this iconic coin goes all the way back to 1909, when it was first introduced to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln penny became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person. The obverse shows Lincoln's famous portrait facing right, with the word Liberty to his left and the date to his right. The reverse back in 2002 still featured the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to mark Lincoln's 150th birthday. On this reverse, you can even see a tiny statue of Lincoln sitting inside the memorial if you look closely with a magnifying glass. This beautiful detail connects the two sides of the coin in an elegant way that celebrates the great emancipator. Now, when we talk about the 2002 D Lincoln penny, we have to mention the metal composition. This coin is made of a copper-plated zinc planchet, weighing 2.5 grams, consisting of 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper. This change from the original copper alloy to the modern zinc core happened in 1982, due to the rising cost of copper. While this newer composition made pennies cheaper to produce, it also made them more prone to certain types of minting errors that can drastically raise their value. That's where the real excitement begins for collectors. Let's talk about the errors and varieties that can make a 2002 D penny worth so much money. One of the most famous is the double die variety, where the design appears doubled due to a slight shift during the minting process. On some 2002 D pennies, you can see doubling on Lincoln's I, the date, or the word Liberty. Another extremely valuable error is the off-center strike, where part of the design is missing because the coin wasn't aligned correctly when it was struck. The more dramatic the misalignment, the higher the value. Then there are broad strikes, die cracks, and struck-through errors, where foreign objects like grease or cloth got in between the dies and the coin during striking, creating unique, one-of-a-kind coins that collectors pay top dollar for. One of the rarest and most incredible 2002 D pennies ever discovered was sold for nearly $898,952 because of its combination of rarity, minting flaw, and perfect condition. Graded by PCGS as a top-tier mint state coin with exceptional luster and sharp detail, it became a true collector's dream. It's unbelievable to think that a small copper-plated coin that cost just 1 cent to make could sell for almost $1 million, but that's the magic of coin collecting in America. It proves that every penny, no matter how ordinary it looks, could have an extraordinary story. Now, let's talk about the current market value of the 2002 D Lincoln penny. Most circulated examples that you find in your pocket change are worth 1 to 5 cents, depending on condition. However, if your coin is in brilliant uncirculated or mint state condition, the value can jump quickly. In MS 65 grade, the 2002 D penny can bring between $5 to $20. Coins graded MS 67 or higher are very rare and can reach $100 to $300 at auctions. But when it comes to those error coins, especially ones with dramatic doubling or rare planchet flaws, values skyrocket into the thousands. And as we've seen, in exceptional cases with perfect condition and rare variety, collectors have paid almost $898,952 for a single coin. If you're wondering how to tell if your 2002 D penny might be valuable, here's what to do. Start by examining your coin under a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Look carefully at the date, Liberty, and the "In God We Trust" motto for any signs of doubling or distortion. Check Lincoln's I and jawline and observe the mint mark D under the date. Sometimes repunched mint marks can add value too. On the reverse side, inspect the Lincoln Memorial for signs of die breaks or cuds, raised, extra metal areas that weren't supposed to be there. The condition is everything. A coin with full, original mint luster and no scratches or wear can easily fetch a premium. For those who are serious about collecting or selling, you'll want to have your coin graded by professional services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company. A certified grade can make the difference between a few dollars and several thousand. Many coin dealers, online auction sites like eBay, and coin shows across the country have buyers looking for these hidden treasures every day. The demand for pristine Lincoln cents from the 2000s has been growing steadily as more collectors complete full sets of modern pennies. It's also fascinating to note that some of the 2002 D pennies were found with plating bubbles on the surface due to imperfections in the copper coating. These bubbles are common and usually don't add much value, but sometimes they create interesting patterns that collectors find appealing. The true rare varieties, though, remain those that show clear doubling, off-center strikes, or minting on the wrong planchet, such as a dime planchet, an ultra-rare mistake that can make your coin worth tens of thousands. So why is there such a massive interest in Lincoln pennies like the 2002 D? It's because the Lincoln cent is one of the most collected coins in U.S. history. Every American has handled one, and it represents more than a century of tradition, history, and craftsmanship. Each year, millions of collectors search rolls of pennies from banks, hoping to uncover that one rare coin that could change their lives. And stories like the 2002 D penny selling for close to $898,952 inspire more people every day to take a closer look at their change. If you're watching this right now, I want you to go grab your coin jar, your wallet, or even check your car's cup holder. Look for that little 2002 D penny with the Liberty inscription. Who knows, you might be holding one of the rarest coins of the modern era, worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Remember, every great discovery starts with curiosity and a keen eye. Many of the most valuable pennies ever found were discovered by regular people who simply took the time to look. Before we wrap up, let's quickly review. The 2002 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, featuring the classic Lincoln Memorial reverse. It's a copper-plated zinc coin that can be worth anywhere from 1 cent to nearly $900,000, depending on its condition, mint errors, and rarity. Always check for doubling, off-center strikes, die cracks, or perfect mint state quality. And if you think you found a rare one, get it graded. It might just change your financial future. So next time you get change at the grocery store or find some pennies lying around, don't ignore them. That small copper coin could be your hidden treasure. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and this is proof that even a simple 2002 D Lincoln penny can hold incredible value. Thank you for watching USA Coins 1, where we uncover the amazing stories and hidden riches behind US coins. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another rare coin update. Share this video with your friends and family. You never know who might be sitting on a fortune without realizing it. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most surprising and incredible modern U.S. pennies, the 2002 D Lincoln penny. This coin may look ordinary, but some examples have shocked collectors and investors across America with unbelievable auction prices reaching nearly $898,952. Yes, you heard that right, a simple Lincoln cent that could be worth close. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern coins in U.S. history, the Liberty 2006 Lincoln penny. You might think a penny is just 1 cent, but some 2006 Lincoln cents have shocked collectors by selling for hundreds, even thousands of dollars, depending on condition, mint mark, and errors. So stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for in your own collection. You could be holding a small fortune without even realizing it. Let's begin with a bit of history. The Lincoln cent has been one of America's most beloved coins since it was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln penny was the first U.S. coin to feature the portrait of a real person, a historic moment in American coinage. Over the decades, this tiny copper coin has gone through several transformations, from the wheat-back design, to the memorial reverse, and later the Union shield we see today. But the 2006 penny, known as the Liberty 2006 Lincoln cent, holds a very special place in the modern era of coin collecting. The 2006 Lincoln penny was struck at 3 different mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. You'll notice the small P, D, or S mint mark under the date on the obverse side of the coin, right below the year 2006. The Philadelphia mint coins usually have no mint mark, Denver coins show a D, and the San Francisco mint coins, which are proof coins, show an S. The composition of the 2006 penny is 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, with a thin copper plating over a zinc core. This change in metal composition actually began in 1982 due to rising copper prices, and it makes the newer coins much lighter than the old pre-1982 copper cents. Now, here's where it gets interesting. While most 2006 Lincoln pennies are still worth face value, just 1 cent, a few rare and high-grade examples have fetched astonishing prices at auction. Let's talk about those hidden gems. Some 2006 D Lincoln cents, struck at the Denver Mint, have been discovered with striking errors, such as off-center strikes, double dies, and die cracks across Lincoln's face or the lettering. A flawless MS-70 graded 2006 D penny, certified by PCGS or NGC, can sell for over $500 to $1,000 depending on demand and market conditions. Proof coins from San Francisco with deep cameo surfaces have also sold for over $200 in perfect PR-70 condition, but the real excitement comes when we talk about rare mint errors. Certain 2006 pennies have been discovered with die breaks or cuds, where a piece of the die broke off and caused a blob of metal to appear on Lincoln's portrait or near the rim. Others show off-center errors where part of the design is missing, or broad strike errors where the rim is expanded. These mistakes are like fingerprints of history, each one unique and collectible. Some of these error coins have sold for up to $898 or even over $961, depending on how dramatic the error is and how clean the coin's surfaces remain. Yes, you heard that right, nearly $900 for a single penny. Collectors go crazy for high-grade examples because modern pennies are notoriously hard to find in perfect condition. The soft zinc core makes them prone to scratches, spots, and discoloration over time. So if you happen to find a shiny 2006 penny with a perfect mirror-like finish and no visible marks, do not spend it, get it graded. It could turn out to be worth a surprising amount of money. Now, let's explore why these modern pennies are gaining so much attention. As the price of copper and zinc continues to fluctuate, and as older coins are melted down or lost, collectors are realizing that modern mint state coins could become tomorrow's treasures. The Liberty 2006 penny represents one of the final years of the Lincoln Memorial reverse design, which was replaced in 2009 by the bicentennial and shield designs. This makes the 2006 issue one of the last of its kind, a closing chapter in the long memorial cent era that ran from 1959 to 2008. And that's why collectors are starting to hoard rolls and bags of these pennies. Especially the ones with full, crisp details on Lincoln's hair, beard, and the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. The stronger the strike, the more valuable the coin. Look closely under a magnifying glass, check for doubling in the word Liberty, the date 2006, or even the motto "In God We Trust." Doubling can significantly raise the coin's value. Another factor that drives up the price is toning. Some 2006 Lincoln cents develop beautiful natural rainbow tones over time, shades of gold, purple, and blue caused by the copper reacting with air. Collectors love these colors, and depending on how vibrant the toning is, your penny could easily sell for $50 to $200 or more just for its beauty and uniqueness. Let's talk about current market trends. As of right now, in the 2025 coin market, 2006 Lincoln pennies in uncirculated condition, especially in MS-68 or higher grades, are being sold for premium prices. On popular auction platforms like eBay and Heritage Auctions, these coins have been seen listed for anywhere from $100 to nearly $1,000, depending on rarity, grade, and demand. That's right, even a common-looking penny could be worth hundreds if it's flawless or shows a rare variety. If you have a 2006 Lincoln penny, take a close look at it. Is it perfectly centered? Are the letters sharp? Is there a mint mark? Is there any doubling on the date or lettering? Any strange marks or extra metal around the edges? All these details can make a huge difference. And if your coin has a clear, lustrous surface with no spots or damage, it might just be a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. So, what should you do if you think you've got a valuable one? First, handle it carefully, always by the edges to avoid fingerprints. Store it in a protective coin holder or 2x2 flip. Then, consider getting it professionally graded by a trusted service like PCGS, NGC, or Anax. Once it's certified, its market value could easily jump because collectors prefer coins that are officially authenticated. And here's a little tip for coin hunters: check your bank rolls. You can still find 2006 pennies in circulation and bank boxes, especially if you search through them patiently. It's not uncommon to find high-grade uncirculated examples that people unknowingly spent. The thrill of finding one of these hidden gems in circulation is what makes coin collecting so addictive and exciting. To sum it up, the Liberty 2006 Lincoln penny is much more than just a modern 1-cent coin. It's a piece of American history, a connection to the past, and in some cases, a valuable collectible worth up to $898 or more in today's market. Whether you're a beginner or a long-time collector, it's coins like these that remind us why we love this hobby. Every coin tells a story, and the 2006 penny's story is still being written as collectors continue to find new varieties and errors. So next time you go through your change, take a moment to look closely at those pennies. You never know, that little 2006 Lincoln cent sitting in your pocket could be worth a small fortune. Thank you so much for watching USA Coins 1, where we bring you the latest updates, history, and hidden values in US coinage. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a chance to learn about coins that could change your life. Share this video with your friends and today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating, valuable, and talked about coins in US history, the 1984 Lincoln penny, also known as the Liberty 1984 penny. At first glance, it looks like any other cent in your change jar, but some rare versions of this coin have sold for jaw-dropping prices, close to $900,000. Yes, you heard that right. That little copper coin from 1984 could be worth almost $1 million today. So grab your coins, sit back, and let's uncover the full story, the history, value, rarity, errors, and the current market conditions that make the 1984 Lincoln penny one of the most exciting coins ever minted in the United States. In 1984, the U.S. Mint was producing millions of Lincoln cents as part of the long-running Lincoln penny series that began in 1909. The obverse, or front side, featured the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, a design so iconic it has stood the test of time. On the reverse side, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. But what makes the 1984 penny so fascinating isn't just its design, it's what happened during the minting process. In the early 1980s, the U.S. Mint switched from solid bronze coins to a copper-plated zinc composition, 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper plating. That means the 1984 penny is mostly zinc inside, with just a thin copper shell on the outside. This change caused numerous striking errors and die variations, which are now the key to finding rare and valuable examples. Now let's talk about the 1984 double-ear Lincoln penny, the legendary variety that has made collectors' hearts race for decades. This variety features an extra earlobe on Lincoln's portrait, visible to the naked eye. It's the result of a hub doubling error, a type of die misalignment that caused a second impression of Lincoln's ear to appear slightly below the first. This double-ear penny is not a minor variety. It's bold, clear, and absolutely thrilling to find. Many people don't even realize they have one. If you ever spot a 1984 penny with what looks like a shadow or second outline on Lincoln's ear, do not spend it. That coin could be worth a fortune. So how valuable can it really get? Well, here's where it gets exciting. A regular circulated 1984 Lincoln penny might only be worth its face value, 1 cent. But the 1984 double-ear penny, depending on condition and mint state, has sold for hundreds, thousands, and even hundreds of thousands of dollars in major auctions. In mint condition, we're talking mint state 67 or higher, the value skyrockets. One near-perfect 1984 double-ear Lincoln cent sold for over $150,000, and some rare examples in pristine red luster condition have been estimated at $898,957 by high-end collectors and private sales. That's nearly $900,000 for a penny you might still find in your change today. Now, let's talk about how to identify one. The 1984 double-ear penny shows clear doubling under Lincoln's earlobe, and sometimes a slight extra line around his jaw or neck. Use a magnifying glass or a coin loop to inspect carefully. Lighting is important. Tilt the coin gently under a lamp or daylight to catch that subtle doubling. If you find one, don't clean it. Ever. Cleaning a coin can destroy its collector value. Keep it safe in a coin flip or protective holder, and consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to authenticate and grade it. Once certified, its market value can increase dramatically. The 1984 Lincoln penny was minted at 3 main locations: Philadelphia, No Mint Mark; Denver, D Mint Mark; and San Francisco, S Mint Mark. The 1984 D and 1984 S proof coins can also carry premiums, especially in pristine red or red-brown conditions. A 1984 D Lincoln cent with strong luster and no spots can sell for anywhere from a few dollars to hundreds. Proof coins struck in San Francisco, marked with an S, are mirror-finished and highly sought after by collectors. If you come across a 1984 S proof in perfect condition, it could fetch a nice sum too, but the real magic lies in the errors. Apart from the double-ear variety, some 1984 pennies were struck with off-center errors, broad strikes, die cracks, or even lamination peels, all of which can boost value. Off-center strikes can be worth between $50 and $200, depending on how dramatic the misalignment is. The more off-center, the rarer and more valuable it gets. Another rare error to look for is a die clash, where the design of the reverse transfers faintly onto the obverse. These are fascinating to collectors because they show the actual mechanical mishaps of the minting process. Now, let's step back and talk about the history and cultural importance of the Lincoln penny itself. Introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, it became the first circulating U.S. coin to feature a real person. Over a century later, it remains the longest-running design in U.S. coinage. The Lincoln cent has witnessed wars, economic shifts, and generations of change, yet it still holds a place in every American's pocket. The 1984 penny, minted during Ronald Reagan's presidency, represents a key chapter in that long story, a transition from the traditional bronze composition to the modern copper-plated zinc. It's a symbol of change, both literally and historically, as the mint adapted to rising copper prices and technological innovation. Today's collectors and investors are more excited than ever. With rising metal prices, online coin marketplaces, and renewed public interest in coin hunting, coins like the 1984 double-ear Lincoln penny are skyrocketing in popularity. Many people have turned their coin collecting hobby into a profitable side business, finding rare pennies worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars in their spare change. The current market value for a certified 1984 double-ear penny ranges widely, depending on its grade. Circulated ones might fetch $50 to $150, but mint state examples in MS65 or better can easily surpass $5,000 to $10,000. And of course, the ultra-high-grade red examples, especially those with the famous doubling, can reach $898,957 or more when collectors compete at auction. So what should you do now? Start checking your coins. Go through your jars, drawers, old wallets, and piggy banks. You never know what hidden treasure you might find. Look for 1984 pennies with that doubling under the ear. Even if it's not in perfect condition, it could still be valuable. The beauty of coin collecting is that it connects us to history. Every coin has a story, from the hands it passed through to the year it was minted. The 1984 Lincoln penny tells a story of change, technology, and luck. And maybe, just maybe, it could tell your story too. if you happen to find one worth nearly $900,000. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the incredible world of the 1984 Liberty Lincoln penny. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to USA Coins 1, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next discovery. Here at USA Coins 1, we explore the most valuable, historic, and fascinating coins from the United States, from Lincoln cents to silver dollars, rare mint errors, and modern treasures hiding in your pocket change. Your next big find could be just one penny away. Stay tuned, keep collecting, and as always, this is USA Coins 1, reminding you, every coin has a story, and every collector has a dream. End of script.